Okay, Harry, if you would please go off video. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, and welcome to our morning meditation. My name is Frank Mastoris. I am the practitioner of the day, and I am also the speaker for the day. So, as part of our meditation, let's close our eyes and get comfortable in our chair. Allow yourself just to take a deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in and release. Take a third deep breath in and allow yourself just to release at your own pace. So I'm going to ask you just to go within to that place where you experience the divine. And invite into your awareness your understanding, your connection, your experience of the divine.
You could hear there was a lot of setup time involved with this, and then I had to pull around. Fortunately, I had my cell phone turned out also, so I could see what's going out. Everybody, and it wasn't right, so I fix it.
Allow yourself to go with that sense of spirit and allow yourself to dream. To that place where you dream. And invite into your awareness and ask, what is the highest vision for you? If you could be bold and be your highest and best self, what would you dream for? What would you dream? You dream of being your most expressive self. If you could be anyone or anything, who would you be? How bold would you act in your life? If you knew you couldn't fail? How audacious would you dress? If you knew that you would be loved and accepted just the way you were? How would you live your life if you really just didn't care what anyone else said or thought? Allow yourself to be present to your most bold, audacious life, where you knew you were loved and supported by the spirit within, where when you spoke your word, it manifested immediately. When you thought and your dreams manifested. So what's your bold dream? Just for you, not for anyone else, but just for you. Don't think small. Think big. Think bigger than you ever believed you could have. Allow yourself to dream so big that it manifests in form way beyond anything you ever thought you could have or be or do. And now come back to your body with that dream, so bold, so audacious, so you expressing to your body into the awareness of your fabulous, wonderful body. And allow yourself to be present now in this beautiful, wonderful body with a dream that you've had or a brand new dream, something much bigger than you have thought about. And know that the universe is conspiring to bring your dream come true. And now open your eyes and be present in the room as we have our beloved Teporah sharing with us some of her fabulous music.
Good morning. This meditative piece is called Ho'oponopono, which is a forgiveness ceremony in Hawaiian culture. So I'm just going to continue that meditation for a few minutes longer before the service starts. My sound is on. My sound is on. I'm not really sure what to do.
Teporah, check as to what microphone your phone is using.
It's just the same thing I had up when we did our sound check earlier.
Okay, I was just wondering because sometimes people's computers have default speakers and other speakers.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't ever do it through a computer. That's why I use my phone, because that stuff can get super complicated. But if you can hear my voice and I can hear my piano, I'm not sure why you can't hear my piano.
I know that's bizarre.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
Because that's in the room with me. It's not going through anything. This is the speaker. See, I'll show you. It's the speaker on my piano.
Yeah,
You can't hear that?
I can hear like the initiation of the note, but not the whole note at all. Just like it's like a little pluck at the very beginning. That is
Okay,
bizarre.
so that sounds like I have to fool with that setting again. So let me just go back into my settings. That it worked during the sound check and I haven't changed it, but you know, with technology. So let me just tap on this little, let's see. It's actually just hard for me to get to the settings on here for some reason. Because there's a settings area and a chat area, and for some reason it's just really hard for me to get to. But yeah, it was working during our sound check, so I'm not sure what happened. But that's called original sound, and what that does is okay, here we go. Is it cancels out the okay, here we go. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna do it again. It's gonna be gorgeous. You ready? Yeah, for some reason it canceled out that setting when I got out of the Zoom. It's supposed to save your settings from one Zoom to the next. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Now I'm gonna turn
Yes,
my
Got it.
you got it.
awesome.
That was beautiful, Teporah. Thank you. And thank you for working through the technical glitches that we all endure. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my beloved Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community. Let us opening our Sunday celebration by ringing the bell, which will be followed by our invocation song by today's musical guest, Teporah, and an invocation by our practitioner and speaker today, the beloved Frank Mastoris. And you are on, Miss Teporah. You need to unmute, dear.
There we go. I was talking to myself. That's so fun. So this song is called Walk, Don't Talk. And it's about centering in the presence of life instead of being up here with the monkey chatter. Okay. Walk, don't talk. Listen to the wind whispering in your ears. Sit, don't go anywhere. Feel the day stretch on. 'Cause you can let your hair down, and you can let it be. Touch, don't be afraid. Let your passion guide your way. Love, don't blame. Open up your heart like the Milky Way, and you can let your hair down, and you can let it be. Drink it slowly, never stop. Surrender to the moment in your heart. Taste every drop, empty your cup, and fill it up again. Here, right here, listen to the song of your life. Find the time. Stop the worrying in your worrying mind. 'Cause you can let your hair down, and you can let it be. You can let your guard down, and you can let it be.
Thank you, Teporah. And this is what I know. I know there is one power, one presence, one essence, one beingness that is everywhere present, expressing through everybody, expressing through everything. Knowing this truth that everything is made up of this essence and this power that I just choose to call God for lack of another name, I give thanks. I know today this service expresses in divine right order that everything is perfect, whole, and complete, that all we have no more technical difficulties, that God is always loving, always expressive, always happy, always good. I know that everyone who comes here today is held in the loving arms of the beloved, that essence that knows nothing other than itself. And because God is good, we are good, as we are its expressions. And I know that our dreams, our boldness, our audacity is being expressed today. That we move into a new state of expression, a new state of beingness that allows us to grow beyond the limitations that have been placed upon us or that we have accepted. And I give thanks that as we move into our greater yet to be, I release this. I release this knowing that we move into a greater level of expression, a greater level of joy, a greater level of beingness. And I release this knowing it's done in mind and form, and so it is.
Well, thank you so much, Teporah. I have to ask, did you write that song? And Frank, I know that your inspiration just flows through you when you pray and when you meditate. So thank you both so very much.
Thank you, Robin. I did write that one.
You see, that's amazing. You can do that. Amazing. So once again, welcome everyone to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore Sunday celebration. Thank you for joining us from wherever and whenever you are. Thank you for your patience. If we have technical glitches, we will work through them. And I am your host, Robin Farrenholt. Our speaker and practitioner today is my brother, Frank Mastoris. And our musician for today is the ever talented and beautiful Teporah. So thank you both of you for your service. And thank you, Harry, who is producing this and working through the Zoom things and switching back and forth with screens and everything. Every Sunday without exception at the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore is a Bring a Friend or Family Member Sunday. We invite you to bring a friend or a family member. And as we spread the center's love and joy and light, all are welcome here without exception, radically inclusive, love that term. And we would love to have you and them hang out with us. And in light with that, today is the first Sunday of the month at which we take time to honor the world's religions, all the world's religions. And it's really one world with many spiritual practices and beliefs. I conceptualize it as one mountain with many paths to the top, or one tree with many branches, but all come together at the trunk and anchor in the roots. So we honor each practice and each belief. And wherever somebody is on a respective path in their spiritual development, it is perfect for them at that moment. Each religion, each practice is perfect in its own way that it serves those people who believe in it. So now I'm going to read, and I know that you probably don't have it in front of you, but I want to share with you our sacred covenant and community prayer for the Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community, because this is what I know. The circle of divine love is complete. It comprehends all, includes all, excuse me, and binds all together with everlasting unity. We are forever held in love's presence and care. Divine love is complete as me, and I am the divine love that I am, as each person is. And our community prayer, excuse me again, there is only one life. This life is God, this life is good, and this life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with all the life that is God, I therefore know I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community and each person who is here and each person who is aware of our community. I know that the highest purpose of CSL Greater Baltimore is a revelation of God as divine love. As I now accept the highest expression of CSL Greater Baltimore into my life, I know that it is revealed in a way that glorifies God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by this presence. I am grateful God is gracious. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. And now I would like to welcome back Robert Teporah to share her musical gifts with us. But before she starts, I'd like to just say that Teporah is a long time person who has been in service to our community. She's always been very, very open and willing to share her many talents, and her voice and her musical composition and her piano playing is just will bring joy to your heart and will really, really touch your soul. So Teporah, thank you again for being with us, and I give you Teporah.
Someone has turned my video off and it's not allowing me to turn it back on. I think someone else has to turn it back on.
That's probably me, and I'll have to figure out how to do it. Bear with me a minute.
Okay, no problem. I'll just play some little melodies while you're doing that. Okay, wonderful. There we are. Thank you, Frank. I'm sorry, that wasn't Frank. Who was that? Thank you. All right, so this song is written by Elena McBride, and the pastor from Unity by the Bay, the previous pastor, had asked me to learn this song, and he kept asking and asking, and I said, I can't sing like that. And then I sang it, and and it was very well received, and so I just learned another lesson in not saying that I can't. You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it might not ever come your way. Build it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like it should. But I do it anyway. Ooh. And I do it anyway. Ooh.
hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love your someone with all your heart for all the right reasons. In a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like it should. But I do it anyway. Ooh, and I do it anyway. You can pour your soul out singing a song that you believe in, that tomorrow they forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway. I sing, I dream, I love anyway. Anyway.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm certainly glad that you found the courage to do that song, Teporah, because that was gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to now welcome someone who I truly consider my brother, my friend, my confidant, Frank Mastoris, spiritual mind or practitioner extraordinaire and minister in training, which I'm so proud of him. My little brother is going to be a minister. I think that's really exciting. I think that's so exciting. But Frank is going to lead us in a spiritual practice and reading that will prepare our minds and souls for the message today. And I had this thought while Teporah was playing that if Frank could sing or play an instrument, he could do a one-man show on this whole thing because he's doing the practitioner and the speaker. And if you were the musician, Frank, oh my gosh, we could take the show on the road. But right now, we'll settle for a spiritual practice. So thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, Robin. As I like to say with my singing, I can carry a tune in a bucket. Thank you. No, I laugh about that because I'm okay with it. I can't play any instruments, but thank you, Robin, for your belief in me and your love for me. Our reading today comes from 365 Science of Mind. I love this book because it just gives me so much to. You could pick anything out of here and it'll practically fit whatever the theme is, and it gives me so much inspiration. So, the title for this is God Lives in Me and Enlarges My Life. The life within me, being God, did not begin and it can't end. Hence, I am immortal and eternal. I can never be less, but must forever be myself as this life within me unfolds through my experience, through my gathering of knowledge and accumulation of wisdom. I recognize the omnipresent good. I acknowledge it. I prosper in all my affairs. Perfect success is mine. All the mistakes I have ever made are wiped out. And today, the business of living is the activity of God within me. Giving, I receive, and receiving, I give out again, thus increasing the divine bounty that meets me at every turn. God within me creates every circumstance and situation I have ever experienced. They are the fruits of my thought. By my right thinking and right use of the law of liberty, I allow my imagination to enlarge my experience. The life principle within me responds with a greater abundance, harmony, and good flowing to me. Like a horizon where the earth and the sky appear to meet, this apparent end continually opens up to a wider expanse of me. This is my concept of God, the unlimited creator of all experience. God lives in me and enlarges my life. Our spiritual practice is going to be a contemplation on a saying by Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So allow yourself just to take a few moments to think about that. What do you want to achieve? And as we move into this space of allowing ourselves to grow, experience your image, what our greatest, highest desire is, just allow yourself to bring that into the now in your mind and come back into the space. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you for that contemplative moment so that we can put ourselves into the mindset to be receptive to your message. And yes, Science of Mind 365 is a rockin' book. There's no doubt about it. So once again, I want to introduce my brother and my friend, Frank Mastoris, who is a minister in training, but he is ministering to people all the time, whether he has those letters after his name or not. And he is so willing to give freely of himself to others. and to share his talents and his insight and his words with everybody who is willing to hear and to listen. So I ask you to turn up your ears and to listen carefully to this message as Frank shares his expertise and his beliefs with us.
Thank you. The theme for the month from Centers for Spiritual Living is holy boldness. And our theme for the week is sacred audacity. I had to really look up what is audacity. Audacity is described as courage or confidence of a kind that a person can find shocking or even rude. I'm not sure I like the rude part of it, but I like the shocking part of it. I don't even like the shocking part of it per se. But I really love that we have the courage and the confidence to be ourselves. I want us to consider the possibility that the universe really wants us to really express who we are and really just be ourselves, but maybe slightly a larger version of ourselves. As Ernest Holmes shares with us, we have a choice. We get to live tiny or we get to live a large life. And the choice is, what do you want? I can't tell you what you want. I can only tell you that you have a choice. So just think about it. We have people in history who've stepped up far beyond what their circumstances were. Let's start with Amelia Earhart. Amelia attempted to fly around the world alone, and at that time, women's rights were pretty limited. But she learned to fly in 15 minutes. She had 15 minutes of training, and she attempted to fly across the world. That's audacity. Me? Give me 15 minutes of training, and I'd be going, what the heck am I doing? Think about Harriet Tubman. She was a slave. She escaped slavery at the time, and instead of just thinking of herself, she could have just said, oh no, not me. I'm free, and that's it. But she decided to, as she listened to God within, to stand up and to bring others from slavery through the Underground Railroad. I mean, she could just said, to heck with it, I'm saved myself. But she chose to listen within. That's audacity. Albert Einstein started his career as a clerk in a patent office. He dreamed, and he dreamed the life that he felt was calling him. And he became the world's foremost theoretical physicist. That's audacity. Starting from small spaces, people have stepped up far beyond what their circumstances call them to or allow them to be. We need to participate in our lives. So often we get told what our culture tells us, what our family tells us, what our church tells us, what our society tells us. And we live from that. And that's okay. This isn't a put down. But we can grow far beyond our culture. We can grow far beyond the choices that have been placed upon us. Because in a lot of ways, a lot of life, we're living other people's fears. We're living with other people's boundaries. We're living within other people's thoughts of what our life should be. So, living from spirit, if you knew totally, without a doubt, without a fear, that you could do or be whatever you want, would you? Would you be willing to be larger than your current life? From the science of mind, we know that there's a power for good in the universe and we can use it. We are at choice. And the law lets us live out loud. It doesn't say no, just stay in your little corner, not have what you want, live under somebody else's expectation. You get the choice to make a choice about your life. And we know that when we pray that our prayers work and the divine answers our prayers, especially when we're in deep awareness of our oneness with the divine. When we live in love, when we live in peace, and we live in joy, and when we live in abundance, which we are already, we express our good and more good and even more good. We have to always be aware of our oneness with the divine. And this is a lived experience. It's just not something we go in our heads but something that we feel. We always have to be aware of that deep connection that we have. And I know it's hard. We get battered by the circumstances of life. We get battered by things that are grabbing our attention. But we got a choice here. We are a choice as to if we want to live our life in our deep connection or not. We have a choice of the circumstances of our life or not, but it's our choice. In living our awareness of oneness, we get to choose and be in partnership with God within us. Early in my life before I knew God, and I'm sure for many of you, before you had this experience of being one with the divine, things happened. And we didn't realize that we had control over those choices, that we had control over their circumstances. And when a circumstance came up, we just went with the flow because that's all we thought we could do. But we are a choice now, and we don't have to live like that anymore. We can live an honest, loving, self-loving life. One of my most favorite statements out of the Bible is, "Be still and know." That's really a very powerful statement of oneness and awareness. We usually feel our oneness deep in our inner silence. And as we begin to experience more of that inner silence and more of that inner peace, we begin to overcome our doubts. Knowing that God has my back, I get to live my life more confidently. But to live your best life requires three things. First off, number one, inner courage. It takes courage. It takes courage to overcome our fears, our doubts, and our inhibitions. It takes courage sometimes just to turn within and look at ourselves and see what stuff is holding us back. For me, in going for my ministerial license, it was fear. I had the fear that I had nothing to offer. But God in me, as me, had a better idea. A much better idea. And as I tap into our imagination and dream what was calling to my heart, then I can take action, which I have. We live in a world that wants us to conform to whatever society says. Act this way, be this way, live this way, love this way, dance this way. Yet, American society is somewhat of an individualistic culture versus the collectivist cultures of many of the people in the East. We are a choice. We have to have the courage to act boldly and be ourselves. But that's a choice. Second thing we have to do is tap into our spiritual connection. Sacred Audacity lets us do things we didn't think we could. My career prior to going into ministry, in which I'm still involved with, is as a nurse. And you may think that's easy, but it's not. And I never thought I could be a nurse. I never thought I was smart enough. I never thought I was good enough. I never thought I could do it. And 33 years later, here I am, because I decided to step out of my comfort zone and step into into that area. And now I'm stepping out of my comfort zone again and moving into a new area. I've had to face myself, to tap into the inner call that's been within me and to move forward. Is it easy? No. Am I afraid sometimes? Yes. Do I have my doubts sometimes? Of course. Because I am a spiritual being having human experiences. And sometimes those human experiences talk louder to me than the spiritual connection that I have. But when I turn within and I look for guidance, I'm able to stop, I'm able to listen, and I'm able to follow that guidance. And every time I take a step forward, I listen to that and take a step forward, I make progress. Sometimes we don't always know what we want. Sometimes we just have to ask the Spirit within us to show us. Sometimes we visualize and start with our imagination. We just ask Spirit to use our imagination, or at least I have, use my imagination to create the best life possible for me. What is God's highest and best dream for me? The tool of visioning that we talk about taps into our imagination and lets us listen to God within. And then we get images, we get dreams, we get thoughts, we get feelings. We get ways of looking forward to allow Spirit within us to invoke us to move forward. And really, there's no better time than right now to live a life that you love. What do you love? What's calling to you? What dream is calling to you? And it's not about our age, and it's not about our money, and it's not about all the stuff we say as to why we can't go forward. And those are just stories we tell ourselves. Stories of fear, stories of lack, stories of I'm not good enough. But that's not really the truth of who we are. And we can't keep living in those stories. I just want to share with you that I have a couple friends who are living boldly. I have a friend right now, a woman by the name of Teresa, who is currently by herself hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. She's carrying very little with her and trusting Spirit to provide along the way. And she has been provided boldly. She's been given food by people along the way. She's been given water. She's given places to stay. She just had the call to step beyond her fears and to move forward and to live a life of her dream. And God has provided for her boldly. I have to tell you, it takes a lot of courage to step beyond our culture. It truly does. And another group of people that are living boldly, and being that this is Pride Month, let's just bring it in. Drag queens. Drag queens, if you don't know, are men who put clothing on and lip sync, or perform, or they even might sing on their own. And really, they're living the life that they want, regardless of the fact that our culture really puts them down. But you know what? They're living boldly. They don't care. They don't care what you think. They don't push, and when there's pushback from our culture, they just get up there and be even more bold and audacious. They are just following the dream of God in them, telling them to move forward. Though it's not my dream, that's okay. They're living boldly the life that they feel that they are called to be and to do. Other people who are living boldly are, let's face it, our transgender brothers and sisters. They've just made the choice to live their life. To heck with what society believes. To heck with what other people want. They just made a choice to live well and be themselves. So I'm going to ask a question. Are you willing to live well and be yourself? Or do you want to live a large life or a small life? Whatever life you choose, it's fine. There's no put down here. There's no, there's no put down here. But live a life of choice, knowing that you can boldly move forward in your life. You can boldly have a better life if you want. I mean, at this point in my life, I'm going to hit 65 this month. At this point in my life, people are saying, well, you should be thinking about retirement. And here I am going for ministerial training. And I am thinking about retirement from nursing. I'm just not thinking about retirement from life. I don't want to retire from life. Life is good. Life is a blessing. Life is joy. Live well. So in conclusion, I like to say, sacred audacity and bold action takes work, especially our inner work. We have to be willing and have the courage to look within, look at the stories, and say, thank you. You served me in the past, but that's not my truth now. Because when I confront my own stories and step forward, I can create a new life. I can be more of myself that God intended me to be. More loving, more kind, more joyful, more happy. So I'm going to suggest some tools. If you're going within and you're confronting your story, use affirmations to change your thinking. Define your stories if you're having trouble finding them. Journal and observe your thoughts. Meditate and listen to Spirit within. And vision. Allow God's Spirit within in you to allow you to imagine and vision the future of its dreams for you and through you. You're a magnificent expression of God. So live boldly. Live well. Live happy. And don't stop living. Don't shrivel down to, oh, this is who I am. It's not the truth of who you are. You are continually expressing as a divine, regardless of your age, your circumstances, your life, and all the stories you tell yourself. God's always expressing as you. Thank you, and namaste.
Thank you, my brother, for that inspirational and thought-provoking message. I sincerely appreciate it. I wrote in the chat, change your thinking to change your life. You are exactly what you think you are. And that's to me is a very big truth. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, we practice conscious giving, also called dana. In Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, dana is the practice of cultivating generosity. In the Bible, it says, the point is this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully shall also reap bountifully. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver, and God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound in every good work. And that's from Corinthians 9, 6 through 7. So giving can take the form of giving to those in need, giving to a community, giving to where you're spiritually fed. And as we gather today in the spirit of love and fellowship, we are mindful of the profound impact of conscious giving, dana. So as we give, we receive. That's basically what the passage from the Bible said. You will find them. There are a few ways to practice conscious giving for our community, and you will find them as you support CSL Greater Baltimore on the donate page on our website. You can use PayPal, Giveify, text. You can put a check in the bank. I don't really care. But the important thing is that you give consciously, and you give because you want to, not because you feel compelled to. Okay, I'm just reminding you. I'm not asking you. So I'm going to share our declaration of financial wealth and abundance, because together as a community, let us declare our financial wealth and abundance. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness not only of standing in that flow, but being that flow itself. Think about that. You're not just standing in the river of abundance, you are a part, and you are the river of abundance. So as I sow in myself, my time, my treasures, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in the community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And thank to each of you for your support, for whatever time, treasure, or talents that you share with our community. Being here today is a contribution. You may be here to be spiritually fed, but you are also demonstrating your support of the community by being a part of this service. And again, talking about being of service, now we have a final song from Teporah. And her gifts are just, I always like to think of Reverend Ray's concept of you have a cup and it's overflowing and down into the saucer, and then the saucer fills up and it's overflowing onto the table. That's the kind of talent we have in Teporah.
Thank you, Robin.
Oh, honey, you are more than welcome. And thank you for being with us today.
I'm very happy to be here. I was planning on giving lots of hugs, but that'll happen next time.
Yes.
This is a Ricky Byers song that you will recognize. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I am thankful, grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit all around me.
I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful, I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful, I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I am thankful, so grateful, I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. And that's a perfect song. This aligns with Frank about changing your thinking to change your life. It always amazes me how the lyrics of the songs and the words of the message kind of line up like that. So we have a lot of exciting things that are happening around here at CSL Greater Baltimore. On the first and third Sundays, we are usually live at our new location at the Children's Chorus of Maryland, 320 East Housetown Boulevard. Unfortunately, we had to make changes this week, but we'll be back on our schedule soon. On Wednesdays, which is the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, we are having Wednesday Oasis at 6:30 to 7:30 on Zoom, on the same Zoom link that you're on right now. And if somebody has something they want to share for this Wednesday Oasis, if they have a passion, an experience that can generate the discussion, it's a pretty open forum as far as how it's going to how it proceeds. We still have some blessing bags. Anybody who wants a blessing bag to keep in their car, I gave away 2 this week. You experience somebody who is experiencing homelessness, and you can give them something with real meaning, with toiletries, snacks, socks, all kinds of things in there that would benefit them in their experience where they are at that time. Save the date. I'm telling you, this Peace and Wellness Festival is going to be rocking. October 5th. 2024 at Ruscombe Mansion Community. It's going to be really, really neat. And so please put that on your calendar. It's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Free, no admission. And it's going to be quite a wonderful experience. Happy Pride Month. Please take advantage or take the opportunity to support Pride activities in your respective communities. You know, that this month is the one month where people can, you know, sometimes feel more out than other times. And it's always fun. I was at the one in Westminster yesterday, and you could just feel the energy and the love of the people there. And I think it's so neat to see people who might demonstrate their affection for someone in public at that kind of event that normally would not have that opportunity. So celebrate Pride. We all know this. It's kind of redundant for me to say it, but prayer does work. We practice the spiritual mind treatments, also known as affirmative prayer. We know that everything we need is already there. We need to tap into it through prayer. So as a community, we continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for ourselves, our community, and our global family. If you would like a miracle in a minute prayer after service, a practitioner will be glad to meet with you in a breakout room on the Zoom link. You can also complete a prayer request on our website, info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org, and a practitioner would respond to your request there. So as it is, I say amen, ashe, and so it is. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's probably not as smooth a production as you might be used to, but the bottom line is the message came through. The bottom line is we met as a community. The bottom line is we can work through anything because we're CSL Greater Baltimore. So I'm going to ask now for Brother Frank to give us a closing prayer, and then I ask that you join us in the Zoom room for fellowship so we can cut up and laugh and share each other's lives together. Thank you, Teporah. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
And in closing, I give thanks. I know that God is all there is and the divine perfection expressed here. I know that the message has been given, the love has been shared, the joy is always present. I know as we move on with our day, everything moves in divine right order, and I release this to the law, knowing it's done in mind and form, and so it is. Amen.